Hi, so my name's Avanthi. I am from Thunderbots FTC team 16656, and today we're going to be learning how to make some face shields at home. I would like to first start off by saying that none of these ideas are my own. These are just done by research on YouTube, so that's where you can find this video and other videos just like it. In this time, it's really important to continue to be a force for change, so this is how my team plans to do that from the comfort of our homes. So starting off, these are a couple of versions of the face shield that we're actually going to learn how to make today. So first we have one with ribbon. So the reason that we've created this is because right now elastic is pretty hard to find, and ribbons are probably something that you have more of around your house. We're actually using athlete's tape for this version, but for our ribbon, we just found this anywhere around the house. This is actually some Christmas ribbon. And the nice thing about it is the fact that this is actually super personalizable because you can tie it in the back, making it available for even kids to be able to wear and fit around their heads. So we'll look at how to make that version later on. And then the other two versions we have here are just made with elastic band. This can be any type of elastic. We've even seen videos where they use hair ties. We're choosing to use athlete's tape here because it's what we had on hand, but anything with that kind of stretchiness is going to work just perfectly for you. And so let's take a look at some of the other supplies that we have, because now we're done looking at the final product. So this is one of the main supplies. This is actually weather strip seal. So this was found at our local Home Depot. It'll also probably be available at Walmart or any of those places where they have kind of home supplies. And this is really easy to use because its thickness is going to help us have the face shield not be touching your face and all of that, but we'll get onto that later. Another key supply that you need, which is the main part of the shield, are these clear plastic sheets. These are called binding covers, and they were actually sold out at most of the supply stores we looked at, so we purchased them on Amazon, and they're pretty low cost, all effective supplies that we can use, and it's basically any kind of plastic sheet you had available you could use as well. Then we just have a stapler and a hot glue gun, which we'll be using to, stick things together. Any kind of glue works too, but hot glue is just the fastest acting and one of the stronger types. And then here's just some random extra supplies. So we already talked about the elastic, but we actually have two things. So we have a 10-inch and 6-inch strip. So these are just strips of paper that I've cut out for myself so that I can measure my supplies more easily. But of course, if you're more conventional, you can just use a ruler. But this is so that I can make more of them in a quicker time so we can supply them to hospitals or wherever you're planning, even for your own family that you're making these face shields for. And then just a handy pair of scissors. So let's get started with that. We're just going to be making one face shield today. So the first thing that we want to do is cut our first strip of weather strip. So what we're going to use is our 10-inch measuring paper. So I'm just going to line that up with the edge of the weather strip here and then follow that along all the way to about the 10-inch mark, and I can see that it's right about here. So I'm going to chop that off right about there, let's say. And then after I get my 10-inch strip, I'm going to grab one of my binding covers here, this one, and I'm actually going to stick down this. So the way that I'm going to stick down the weather strip is actually going to be with the sticky side down, and I want to leave an inch on the two sides so that we have a place to staple down our elastic. So I'm going to look, just eyeball about an inch. I think it's going to be more like half an inch on the sides, and then I'm going to take my glue stick, my hot glue gun, sorry, and just go on that measurement about half an inch to an inch on the two sides. It doesn't have to be exact, and lay down a line of hot glue. And this is just to give this some extra support because the weather strip does have glue on it, but we want to make sure that this sticks down, so we're adding a little more. So I'm going to stick that down with the sticky side, down right about in the center. Don't worry about being perfect. And there we go. So we have that first part done. And don't worry about all these little extra glue bits because once it dries, you don't want to touch it when it's hot, but once it dries, we can pull it off and our face mask will be clean. So now that we've done that, we're actually going to get on with sticking our second strip down. So the reason we're doing this is for two things. Firstly, we don't want the face shield to be right on your face. We don't want the piece of plastic touching your nose or anything because that's uncomfortable and kind of unsanitary, but also we're using this so that we can have more curve. with our face shield. So I'm gonna cut using the 6" now, about 6 inches. Again, don't worry about being exact because the elastic's gonna make sure it fits. So I have my 6" strip here, and I'm gonna repeat that exact same thing, making sure that the not sticky side is facing which side we wanna be the inside, because you don't want that stickiness on your face. So I'm gonna go right about in the middle, guesstimate where that is, and stick it down. Right, like that. All right, perfect. So now we have the inside, or the part touching your face, of our face shield done. We just have a couple of last steps. So now we're gonna stick our elastic on. And the easiest way to do this is to think about the fact that if we want this to be on the inside or touching your face, we want the elastic to come all the way around to the outside like this. So I'm gonna cut off this little bit of extra elastic. Take that out. And then I'm gonna start by sticking on this side. So if you have a smaller stapler, that would probably make this process easier. This is the one we had on hand. It'll do. So I'm just gonna go 1 staple, and I'm gonna do 2 for some extra support. Like that. And then I'm actually just gonna take a bit of hot glue and glue down this final edge here. Like that. All right. And then now I'm gonna go on the other side and do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna pull the elastic across, being careful not to twist it because that will make it uncomfortable to wear on the back of your head, and then put it right like this and repeat the exact same process with 2 staples. So this time I wanna make sure that I put the stapler on top of this elastic and then get on 1 staple like that. Oh, that's just. And the second staple just like that. All right, I'm actually gonna do 1 more because that first staple wasn't so precise. There we go. Perfect, so now we have 2 staples on that side as well, and our face shield is done. Thanks for watching.